What is up, obscure mic people? One of the last hurrahs here on the Superlux D421. I think I'm going to sell both of these. I'm getting ready to make a move, like house to house move. Hopefully this podcast shack is coming with me. There's no guarantee of that, so I may be doing some videos from a less than ideal space for a minute. Maybe not. The plan is to take this with me. But if somebody makes an offer higher than asking price for my house and they want this included, then I may have to rethink things. Anyways, Lauten Audio, LA-220. I'll show you everything in the box here in a moment, but I've got to say, not only am I a big fan of Lauten Audio because they've sent me some great gear, they're super easy to work with, but they also, after I did the LS-208, they didn't want me to rush this one because there's videos out there on it, plenty of content. But they also didn't want me to cause Lauten burnout. And that is a self-aware company for you folks. That is awesome. I like that attitude a lot because a lot of companies, you know, will send me multiple things and they just want the stuff pumped out ASAP. And it's a little bit annoying. And I don't do it in most cases, unless it's a company that's just awesome. But the ones that typically want you to just sacrifice your time and pump out their content, typically not awesome. So it all works out the same. Let's go to some B-roll for the Lauten Audio LA-220 V2 version 2, not to be confused with the first edition. LA-220 large diaphragm vet condenser. All right, we've got a handprint here. A nice plastic sheathy thing. Oh, that's cool. Ooh, stickers. Hell yeah. Little autograph there. Code. Other stuff. I don't know what these were. I guess silica pack, maybe something busted, but they were in there. I kind of played like a game, you know, that game where you try to get the balls in the hole, little plastic game. All right, here's the package. That's what she said. That's what she said. That is what she said. You get a baggie, a little bag for the mic, a little velvet velour bag. Really nice. Get a very good metal shock mount. That's a good one. That's real nice. Up, 5/8 adapter, 3/8, 5/8. Little spinnerooski thing. This thing is all metal, no plastic on it. Lauten Audio branded. That's quality right there. We'll use that. And of course, you're going to get the LA-220 V2. Bam. Good weight, good heft. Feels really nice. Really pretty mic, actually, too. Standard style, kind of Neumann head baskety, but nice. We've got a flat mode and a low pass. High pass and a flat mode. Low and high passes all around. Which, correct me if I'm wrong, I think is a feature of the V2. And this is one of the reasons I like Lauten Audio. Grill, I could dent it if I wanted to, but it's pretty solid. You would have to put some force on it to do so. Yeah, nice. Here, let's look inside. Listen, I'm going to speak some facts real quick. I know that a lot of people like the build videos, like the modifications, the builds, all that stuff. Now, while I am no expert at that whatsoever, I can figure out some stuff, and I have in the past, but I just want to say, this is just a fact. This is not an ask or a beg, but in order for me to do more stuff like that, I have to have the time. A lot of people have been asking me to do more of that. I would love to, but I work a 9 to 5, and until somehow, if this channel ever took off and I didn't have to work a 9 to 5 and this channel was my livelihood, I could then do a lot more than I do now, even learn how to make better mic builds. Just saying, like if that's something that you miss that I haven't been able to do much of, share the videos. I don't know why I'm talking and doing this at the same time. Like, this is a waste of this is just a waste of video. But, share the video, push the video, get some more obscure mic fans in, and maybe full-time, and, more mic builds will be in the future. As you can hear now, I've got the Lauten Audio LA-220 in front of me. This is flat mode, double flat mode going on right now, and this is what it sounds like on my voice, which to me, it is definitely an emphasis on the top end with kind of a woolly, warm bottom end, and the mids are definitely a little bit recessed, especially in the upper mids, but I think overall it has a pretty pleasing sound. But let's do some filters before we do some tests. If you want to take a look here, they've got some filter instructions to get modern vocals, classic vocals, podcast, acoustic guitar, electric guitar, and drum overheads. I'll hold that there for a second. Basically telling you what you can use those filters for to achieve good sound on those instruments, including the voice. But I digress. Let's see what it sounds like with a high pass. All right, we've got the high pass on. This is what it sounds like with a high pass. Lost a lot of the low end, but this would be good for a low bassy voice to make them more clear and present. Let's go back to flat. Flat mode back on. Let's go with the low pass filter. And now we've got the low pass on, which definitely darkens up and woolies up my voice quite a bit. But this is not what I would use for my voice. Not to mention, let's go back to flat mode. This filter combination is meant for exactly what this little brochure showed you, and that's to mic up a litany of different instruments and sounds. For my voice, I think for obvious reasons, flat mode is the way to go. Let's do some tests. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled pineapple pizza. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled pineapple pizza. Not the worst on plosives, that's for sure. When you get right on top of the microphone, this is what it sounds like, and yeah, you get up close on it, and you get a lot more out of it. That's what she said, and that's typically how that goes. Now let's do off-axis rejection, going 90 degrees off-axis, 180 degrees off-axis, 90 degrees again, and slowly back around to the front of the microphone. Bada bing, bada boom. Pretty sure this is $359. Most places. It goes on sale sometimes. Don't get it confused with version 1. This is version 2 with the filter switches. Version 1, if I'm not mistaken, I don't believe had filter switches, but that's just me remembering pictures, so I could be wrong. As for my overall thoughts on this microphone, I think this is a great microphone for someone who is wanting to start out a little home recording studio, not necessarily just for vocals, because if you're going just for vocals at $359, specific vocals, one-person vocals, like if I was looking for a vocal mic, I don't think I would choose this in particular, because I think at the price range, there are some vocal mics that suit me better. But if I was starting a little studio and recording some guitars, some drums, trying to make an album from home, something along those lines, miking up sound sources for maybe a storytelling podcast or something along those lines, then the $359 becomes somewhat of a bargain, in my opinion, and you've got yourself a Swiss Army knife of a home studio microphone here. Don't get me wrong, not just home studio. I think the quality is definitely good enough for an established studio such as MEI in New York. You're welcome, Pags. MEI Studios on YouTube. Check him out. Good dude, good stuff. Better pizza, better ingredients. Papa Pags. So with the Lauten Audio LA-220 V2, first I want to say thanks Lauten Audio for sending it over, and the fact that they didn't want me to burn you guys out with their microphones being repeatedly shown, and they wanted me to space it out. That is one of the marks of one of the good ones, one of the good companies to work with. BBSAR time, the Lauten Audio LA-220 V2 is going to get a score from me because it's $359, we're going to do 2 scores here. As a podcast and vocal microphone strictly, I'm going to give it a 6. It's slightly above average and worth the cost because I do think it's quality and I do think it's good. And maybe you could expand in the future on your use cases. But for a home studio, maybe you're an acoustic singer-songwriter. Maybe you want some overheads to be mic'd up. Don't know why I mispronounced that so bad. This, as a Swiss Army knife in your home studio or in your PAG-style MEI studio, then I think the $359 price makes this extremely appealing, and then it grades out as an 8. It's a very strong buy for miking up multiple sources and multiple voices. But if you're a one and done podcaster or vocalist singing wise, and it's going to just be your mic, again, the 6. And honestly, I think for what they're aiming for is the 8 range that I scored, but it's a nice bonus to have the 6 range. And not to mention, there are going to be some voices that this sounds fantastic on. Again, $359, I think I could find myself a better podcast or vocal mic, but then what if I start a studio and I passed on this in favor of like the Sennheiser MK4 or something like that, which is, pushing 300. I don't know. It's a nice mic. I think it's a good one. I think you just need to know what you would need it for. And if you're looking for that home studio mic to mic up a lot of things, I think this is kind of a no-brainer in that sense. Otherwise, I do think there's better. But Lauten Audio, again, quality microphone. Appreciate them sending it over. Appreciate you guys continuing to watch. I'm not going to throw subscribe things all over the screen, but if you want to share my videos or maybe talk a little about my videos in audio forums, or you just, in passing, hey, that Obscure Mics guy is not a total dick, it would be appreciated. Just to get me one step closer, because I'm about to break. Wait, that's not what I wanted to say. Just to get me one step closer to freedom from a 9-to-5 that keeps me from doing mic mods and also has my studio chock full of gear that at this point I'm telling companies it could be a year. It could be a year before your product is on Obscure Mics. Not because I'm special, but because I have a hard time saying no to products I'm interested in, which means you guys are going to get a lot more, especially if you're a member. You get the early releases. You get videos like this earlier than everyone else for just a couple bucks a month. I do sound desperate on this one. I better quit while I'm ahead. Obscure Mics. I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.